What is up, fellow trainers? So this is Speed Resolve for more Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia. This is the last episode. Really happy about it, really excited, and this quick retrospective of the previous one. Third Pokemon we have in our current standard format. Heracross, Latios, Crushing Hammer, Timmy Run. So our last episode is, what can we do about ADP, and what do most people think about it? So what are the solutions for ADPization, right? To fix this problem, this meta narrowing card, this rush that ADP applies to the form, right? What can we do to fix this? So ban ADP, the first option is this. So here I'm going to be showing both the pros and cons to banning ADP. So first, obviously, I'm going to be covering the cons, right? What most people say, why not banning ADP? So it's a dangerous and lazy solution, and so it can just be an excuse for future unfair bans. So, right? Yeah, future unfair bans, right? Like they never happen. So what are the actually pros for banning ADP? So it will dramatically reduce the aggressiveness of the format. Like when I say aggressiveness, I'm saying like matches are way too fast. Like the ADP clock exists, right? So just 4/3 of game is what ADP does to the format right now. And it's a shot for new decks, right? Yeah, there will be a lot. And for the next slides, I'm going to be showing all the single price. You can criticize all you want, but all the single price attackers that are not seeing play just because of ADP, right? Here they are. Yeah, this will take a while. This will definitely take a while. Like there are a bunch of cards in our current standard sets, right? A bunch of cards. I think it's ending now. No? Oh, look there, Hitmon top, Hitmon combo against Eternatus. Is it viable? Maybe, right? If you can ditch there an attacking Pokemon, but a fighting Pokemon to one-hit KO the Eternatus and just spread the damage to KO a lot of Zigzagoon and Spiritombs maybe. But against other decks, maybe not actually viable. Which is not the case for Spiritomb or another single prizers that are showing up here. Beedrill, Charizard, Nidoqueen, Zapdos, Aerodactyl, pair it with Golisopod, this Copperajah, all the Magpiers. So yeah, all these shiny supporter cards that could fuel double prizers, like the Colossal for Sandaconda, Frostmoth for single prize or double prize water attackers. Yeah, not happening. So another solution for ADP would be, and this is like my favorite one, because if Pokemon Company decide to discontinue fairy types, they really need to change the fairy weakness for the strongest cards, right? Like ADP. ADP is such a barrier for double prize attackers and for single prize attackers mainly because of its weakness. If you just change its weakness, it's not the hardest thing to hit like 140 or even 150 with key single prize attackers, right? So to what weakness would we actually change ADP's weakness to? So these are the actual attackers that could hit ADP. As we saw, they are not the most viable ones. So first one, Dragon. And this card, I think, perfect to hit ADP for weakness, because there are a lot of single prize or double prize decks that could use second type of energy, and it would not be hard to just deal 140, right? 70 plus 70, and you just feed a Vitality Band there, and you're all set for 300. And if you just go a Zigzagoon, 310, or just a 2-scrapper, right? Not the hardest thing to do. Alternate Crossma, this is one for the future, like if they reprint Silent Labs or something to turn off that annoying ability, Ultra Burst ability. It could be an interesting counter to ADP. And another option, like they just feed fairy types into Psychic type. So why not change ADP's weakness to Psychic? Like this is a fix that I'm not a huge fan of, because they would need to test a lot in order to see if ADP would be not relevant anymore. But I feel it would still be a quite strong card, even with the Psychic weakness. Right? This is why. So why not, right? They change Fairy to Psychic. Why not change ADP's weakness from Fairy to Psychic? It's a big question. So some attackers that could benefit from this, Marshadow. This single prize attackers, right? Necrozma, Cresselia. Interesting enough, these both Mewtwo could hit 130, and just feeding a Vitality Band there, they could get there to 280. Mew could get there. Now Mew, if you play 3 energy on it, right, then you get to 150. If they go Ultra Creation, you go Mew. It's a double prizer, right? So you need to go before Ultra Creation, so not the best deck against it. Dragapult, it would definitely hit 140 for 2 energy, a lot more viable than Mew. This one could hit a lot, or even 1 hit KO with a Vitality Band. But just set up for future KOs. Just hitting 260 on an ADP would be really strong. This one would be very strong if they got Ultimate Ray, but then again, this is a 2-prizer, right? Not the best thing to do against ADP. And Mewtwo would be insane against ADP. For both the ability and the GX attack, it would KO instantly. So another solution would be to change the ADP GX attack, the Alpha Creation. So some options to change. Exclusive for GX Pokemon. So this is one thing I talked to some people, that ADP was the last GX Pokemon release, right? So it's like the god of Pokemon. So why not be the god among the GX Pokemon, not the V Pokemon? What's the problem about this? What would be the problem? I don't see any. So GX Pokemon are still played a lot, so I don't see why not doing this. It would definitely reduce ADP's impact on the current form. This is another change. So just for the first KO, so ADP's attack would be comparable to Kartana GX or Blacephalon GX. So for its own strategy, I think this would destroy the card. I think this is not a good fix, right? But I just showed him as an option. And like Ultra Creation GX is the GX attack for the Tag Team Creation trio, right? Why not just requiring 1 extra colorless energy cost, right? For the Arceus counterpart, because he's normal usually in the TCG. So why not using colorless energy cost there? So a lot of the issues that single prizers and double prize have that I shown on the previous videos would disappear if ADP needed one extra turn to go auto creation. It would be a lot easier to one-shot it before that. So another option, make Latios GX a viable tap to cancel that annoying ability, or to make easier to use, like to change that GX clear vision to colorless coast, to be much easier to use, or to just cancel it for a tool card or a supporter or something like a stealthy hood, but to cancel your own ability. Another option, reprint Pokemon Ranger. Not a huge fan of this because on expanded we have Tapu Lele, right? But on standard we don't have Tapu Lele. We cannot find the single copy we're probably going to be using on our decks, on our single prize or double prize decks to counter ADP. So we are going to have to draw a lot, not draw with a supporter card in order to find Pokemon Ranger. So I'm not a huge fan of this. So what are the people's main reasoning in favor of ADP, or complaining or criticizing people that are just vocalizing their thoughts, right, about ADP and why it's bad for the format? So get good. This is really childish, but they say that a lot. You just want to play single prize decks. It wouldn't change anything. Dragapult VMAX and Eternatus VMAX are more oppressive than ADP. And I don't see ADP winning all Darkness Ablaze tournaments. Why are you complaining? So I'm going to be describing and say why not these arguments are reasonable when you are trying to do something about ADP, right? So you just want to play single prize decks. So I'm going to just show a picture why this argument is not valid. Yeah. This. I don't think I'm wanting to play single prize decks. It's my exclusive will, right? I don't think I just want to play single prize decks. So it wouldn't change anything. Well, wouldn't it? This was the Hyperlux gaming tournament where ADP was actually banned. And here's the first place. He got a lot of alternatives, but if we play Sandecon against the other decks, we can see it can very much win the matchups. Right? It's not a bad deck. It's not a terrible deck. So you don't just need to have just alternatives on your tournament to say that Sandecon just won because of that. It was just a meta call. It's a viable deck, and it's actually its current moment to shine. It's right now when we have alternatives being released. Right now, Sandecon should be shining, but it's not shining because ADP doesn't have a viable weakness. So this one, the next one, happened like last week. The Kaiser no ADP online tournament, and Azul won with Mad Party. Now, Mad Party can actually win, like just playing the Cephalon against ADP, but it would be a lot easier if ADP didn't exist, right, in the current format. Another, this is the same tournament, so just the decks that were played. So we can see there Phalanx, Spiritomb, Sableye, Chinchino on the top 8, 2 Aerodactyl, Golisopod, Lapras and Frostmoth. This is actually a VMAX, but a different deck. Torkoal. So a couple different decks hitting the top 32. So really interesting. And Medipari getting the first place. So the fourth argument, Dragapult VMAX and Alternatives VMAX are more impressive. So why this is not a valid argument in favor of ADP, right? This one for Dragapult and for Eternatus, the Fighting weakness. So before rotation, what we could hit Dark weakness for? So this Weavile could destroy Dragapult if they don't KO Choose Sneasel. Right? If they left a Weavile on the bench, it was really hard for them to just if they just overbenched, and if you didn't bench the Sneasel, if they just overbenched their bench with abilities like the Dene, Jirachi, Giratina, both Giratina actually, Zigzagoon, they had a lot of abilities, so Weavile could destroy them on the following turns. Spiritomb, you could make a Spiritomb down of the blank. With Jinx, Rainbow Energy, and Hustle Bell. And after rotation, what do we have against Dragapult? Sableye can easily hit really high numbers in general, but against Dragapult it would be just ridiculous. Obstagoon can hit 180 plus 30 to 10. Spiritomb, it's a little more awkward, but it can still hit 160, especially comboing with Nano if they just put like 4 damage counters on a Pokemon, or even 3 damage counters if you have Jinx. You could use Nano, use Building Spike, and just using Jinx to transfer one of your damage counters in play, or of another Spiritomb you would put in play. And you can make Spiritomb actually bulkier versus Dragapult with K-pop toughness. One more, Hoopa, Baby Hoopa. This is like a natural weakness on our current format. So it's not like ADP that does not have an actual meta hitting hard card like Eternatus. So if we change ADP's weakness to Psychic, Dragapult would be its natural counter deck. We have Malamar VMAX, we have Umbreon and Darkrai tag team, have Zoroark that can hit really silly numbers, and this is one for the Champion's Path expansion that just for a single triple acceleration energy can one-shot Dragapult. So Eternatus, Fighting weakness. Now this is really silly, man, if you compare to ADP. Like there are a bunch of fighting Pokemon that can hit really high numbers against Eternatus. Why they don't see play right now? Well, I think you already know the answer, right? Like the first 3 there just lose to ADP. Excadrill, Armaldo, Aerodactyl, like a lot, right? And on the future, Lucario and Galarian Surfetch. So this is the main reason why this argument is fake. It's not a valid one. It's not a valid argument. The main reason. I don't see ADP winning all Darkness Ablaze tournaments, man. Why are you complaining? Yeah, it's not winning. But if you check the deck variance there, you're not seeing double prizers or single prizes all around, like we saw when ADP was banned. You see a couple of Eternatus, a couple of ADPization, a couple of Mewtwo, and just for the single prizers, just the CGI and Obstagoon is the only one that can actually compete. Or Baby Blacephalon, but Baby Blacephalon is hit hard by Marnie right now because it doesn't have Fire Flint anymore. So there, the meta variance is just tag team and just VMAX Pokemon or the CGI and Obstagoon. But I just see a single Baby Blacephalon there and a single Keldeo Frostmoth, but that's it. And a Torkoal, there's a hero, there's actually a hero there, a Torkoal. 2 Baby Blacephalons actually, 2 Baby Blacephalon, a Keldeo Frostmoth, and a Torkoal. So 4 decks. This is another one that happened like yesterday. So final thoughts. I think we cover most of the arguments people use. We show why our current standard format it's not healthy. Like ADP makes a really fast format. It makes all decks around him to build a really fast strategy of hitting high numbers and to getting there really fast. So even for our current VMAX and tag team deck, it's not a really healthy card. If you could just make its weakness viable or accessible, or if you could just make its GX a little more awkward to use, I think it would be a lot healthier for the format and a lot healthier for creativity to begin flourishing in our 2021 season. right? So I think it's mandatory to something happen with ADP. I'm not in favor of a banning the card, but for the tournament organizers, if it's the only possibility, if Pokemon Company does not make anything, I think just for ourselves to have a more fun Pokemon TCG experience, it would be considerable to discuss banning or not banning with people that want to play a specific tournament, right? So I think it's valid. It's a valid discussion. It's a valid point to bring up and to think about. So thank you very much for staying with us till now. We're going to keep playing Pokemon. We're going to keep having fun with Pokemon, trying to have fun with Pokemon. But this is it. Thank you very much. Don't forget to leave the like, to leave a comment, because your feedback is really important for us. And that's it. Stay safe, and I see you on the next video. Bye bye.